Lord, before this day ends, I need to admit something. I almost fell apart today. There was a moment when, if you hadn't been with me, even in silence, I would have collapsed. That's why I come now, at the close of this afternoon, not to say pretty words, but to surrender whatever is left of this day and the weight I'm still carrying. Take a slow breath. Feel what this moment means. Now, standing before God, you don't need to pretend strength, spirituality, or stability. Sometimes the real act of faith isn't saying, "I'm fine," but admitting, "I barely made it." And that's okay. This is exactly where grace meets you. This is the end of the day, the place where the masks fall, where the body grows tired, where thoughts grow more honest, and where the soul finally speaks the truth it tried to hide since morning. Maybe today was heavy. Emotional exhaustion piling up, a silence that hurts, a financial worry, a family tension, a fear that resurfaced, a tiredness that refuses to ease. Or maybe it was one of those slow, dragging days where nothing serious happened, yet something inside you felt like it was quietly breaking. Whatever the weight is, lay it before the Lord now. Because the night is when God gathers what you no longer have the strength to carry. Close your eyes, just for a few seconds, and whisper, "Lord, I'm here." Not as someone who conquered the day, but as someone who survived it. Feel the honesty in that. It doesn't make you smaller, it sets you free. Now, picture God stepping into the space where you are. Not rushing, not demanding anything, but taking a seat beside you like someone who knows exactly what you face today, even the things no one else noticed. He looks at you with that mix of mercy and firmness that only genuine love can hold. And before you explain a single thing, he already understands everything. The tears you held back, the answers you didn't get, the strength that failed, the patience that slipped, the faith that wavered, the effort no one saw. When God meets you at the end of the day, he's not looking for perfection. He's looking for surrender. And that's exactly what you're offering right now. Let the Lord touch the very place where you're carrying pain. Maybe it's the tightness in your chest. Maybe it's the tiredness in your mind. Maybe it's that feeling of, "I'm not keeping up." Talk to him in your own way, or simply let him listen to the words you can't speak. Because nighttime prayer doesn't demand speeches. It asks for honesty. Say, "Father, I bring to you what's left of me today." And notice the atmosphere shift. Not because your circumstances suddenly changed, but because you stopped fighting on your own. There is something sacred and profound about coming before God while you're still wounded, while you're still tired, while you're still in the middle of the process, not the end. That's where he works, in what's real, in what's raw, in the very moment you need him most. As night settles over your day, let God settle over your soul. Breathe again. This moment in your evening prayer has a purpose, to prepare you for rest, not just in your body, but in your mind and spirit. And rest doesn't begin when you lie down. Rest begins when you let go. So say, without fear, "Lord, I surrender. I release. I trust that you are here." And receive the peace that comes when you finally let God care for what you can no longer hold. Lord, now that the afternoon slowly fades into dusk, I need to be honest. Today's silence wore me down more than any visible battle ever could. Sometimes, it's not the problem itself that hurts the most, it's the feeling that I'm fighting alone. It's strange, my God, how the heart can grow tired even of things that seem small, how the weight can double even when nothing new has happened, how faith can thin out like an old rope about to snap. And maybe that's exactly what you're touching today, my limit. Because while everyone else sees just another ordinary afternoon, I know what I was carrying inside. I know the effort it took not to explode, not to give up, not to lose myself. And you know it too. You saw every thought I crushed just to keep control. You saw every answer I swallowed. You saw the knot that stayed stuck in my throat all day. Nothing slipped past you. And that's why I come now, God. Not with rehearsed lines, not with the need to look strong, but with the humility of someone who can finally admit, I'm not well enough to keep going alone. I need your presence more than I need solutions. I need your touch more than explanations. I need your rest more than any victory. Because here I am, at the end of the day, wrestling with a tiredness that doesn't come from my body, but from my soul. Lord, restore what I lost today without even noticing, the patience that evaporated, the hope that cracked, the joy that hid, the peace that dissolved in the middle of hard conversations, the strength that slipped through my fingers while I tried to be more than I'm capable of being. I place all of it before you now, like someone handing broken pieces to a craftsman. I hide nothing. I don't sort out what looks pretty from what looks ugly. I don't choose what to show. I lay it all, truly all, at your feet. In this surrender, I recognize that even when the day exhausted me, you never left. The silence wasn't absence. The delay wasn't rejection. The lack of signs wasn't abandonment. I know that because if you had left me, I would have already fallen. If you had turned your face away, I would have lost control. If you had given up on me, I wouldn't have made it here to the end of this afternoon. So God, even though I didn't understand the reason for the silence, I trust what that silence protected inside me. Maybe you spared me from something I never saw. Maybe you strengthened me without me feeling it. Maybe you held me at the exact moment I thought I was walking alone. And now, as the night approaches gently, I ask you, touch the places in my heart no one else can reach. Loosen the knots life tied in me today. Breathe life back into my weary soul. Rearrange what got disordered inside me. Place calm where there is restlessness and light where the shadows begin. I need that, Lord. Not tomorrow, not when I fall asleep, not when everything is resolved. I need it now, not out of stubbornness, but out of survival. And I trust that you're here, hearing every word my chest can't find the strength to say. I trust that you gather my weaknesses like someone collecting the pieces of an old vase to restore it to its true form. I trust that even tired, I'm not lost, and that the end of this day doesn't define the rest of my life. Stay with me, Lord, in the silence, in the surrender, in the part of my soul only you can see.
Lord, now that the night begins to settle in, I need to be honest in a way I've probably been avoiding all day. I'm not just tired, I'm worn out on the inside. There's a difference, and you know it. The body recovers with hours of sleep, but there's a kind of exhaustion no bed can fix. And that's the exhaustion I bring before you now. Because, God, there's a limit I don't like to admit I have, but today I felt it. I felt it when my patience vanished without warning. I felt it when my faith seemed too small to hold the weight of my worries. I felt it when everything in me just wanted to shut down, disappear, hit pause on the world. And this is where I realized something I didn't want to face. I'm not as strong as I pretend to be. I'm not as steady as I appear. I'm not as in control as I try to show. But maybe this is exactly what you brought me here to finally admit. Because there's a kind of victory that doesn't come from strength, but from surrender. There's a kind of healing that only begins when we stop trying to fix ourselves alone. There's a kind of peace that doesn't show up when everything is right, but when I finally stop fighting what's wrong. So tonight, Lord, I allow myself to confess. I feel smaller than my problems. I feel more fragile than I let on. I feel more in the dark than I'd like to be. And still, I choose to trust that you don't need me to be whole to touch me. You don't need me to be cheerful to renew me. You don't need me to be strong to hold me up. Because you have always met your children at the exact moment they acknowledge their limits. So here is mine. Fragile, real, spoken with the humility of someone who's lived long enough to know human strength has an expiration point. My request tonight is simple, Lord. Breathe over my exhaustion. Speak into my silence. Calm what I can't, and restore to my soul what the day has taken. I don't need answers right now. I just need your presence. And God, that is already everything.
Lord, now that the night has finally settled in, I can see what I spent the entire day trying to ignore. In the light of day, we disguise things. We smile, we get things done, we pretend to be strong. But when the world slows down and darkness takes its place, only the raw truth remains, the kind no smile can hide. And that's why I come before you again in this moment. Not to repeat what I already know, but to face what I've been avoiding. Father, today I realize that part of my pain doesn't come only from what happened to me, but from what's happening inside me. I've lost count of how many times I blamed myself for not solving everything sooner, for not being stronger, faster, wiser. The truth is, if it depended only on me, I would have sunk long ago. But I made it this far because you never let go, even when I didn't understand, even when I couldn't feel you, even when I questioned your presence. And now, as the night deepens outside, I need to admit a truth that hurts to say. I'm afraid. Afraid of tomorrow. Afraid of the unknown. Afraid of repeating old mistakes. Afraid of wasting time. Afraid of carrying burdens I was never meant to hold. I know this fear doesn't frighten you, Lord, but sometimes it paralyzes my soul. Today, as I walked around the house at the end of the afternoon, I noticed something strange. The silence around me seemed louder than any noise, and it invited me to face my own limits. It wasn't a supernatural voice. It was subtler, more intimate. It was almost as if you were saying, stop running from yourself. Stop fighting alone. Let go of what you can't carry anymore. So, here I am, at the end of a day that almost knocked me down, but also exposed what I've been hiding. Lord, I surrender to you. The resentment that still visits my heart in the quiet hours, the sense of failure that insists on showing up after every attempt, the loneliness no one sees but that sometimes presses on me like it has weight, the uncertainty about decisions I still need to make, the pain of not being enough for everyone, even when I'm doing my best. I give you all of this, not because I know how to fix it, but because I finally recognize that I wasn't created to carry this alone. And as the night deepens, I realize something. The darkness isn't the end. It's the environment where you work without being seen. Just as a seed grows underground hidden from sight, just as the body heals while we sleep, just as dawn is formed in the womb of the night, you do your work in the dark. Tonight, I don't need to see in order to trust. I just need to rest in the truth that you never lost control, not even when I lost mine. Father, renew my strength. Breathe new courage into me as the night moves on. Show me that what looks like delay is really protection, that what feels like silence is preparation, that what looks like chaos is simply the backdrop before the shift. And I ask you for something difficult.
Teach me to accept what won't return, to release what I cannot change, to forgive those who left and those who stayed, to rebuild without hurry, without guilt, without punishing myself. Because deep down I know the night didn't come to destroy me. It came to reveal me, reveal what needs to be surrendered, what needs healing, what needs to be left behind, and what you are still going to do for me, even if I can't see it yet. So, stay with me tonight, Lord. Walk within me. Align my thoughts. Quiet my soul. And prepare my spirit for whatever comes in the next chapter of my life. And if it's your will, let me sleep tonight with something the whole day refused to give me. Peace.
Lord, before the night fully settles, I want to take a deep breath and look at this day with the clarity that only the final hours can bring. The darkness that arrives doesn't threaten, it reveals. It shows what remained, what was missing, what weighed on me, and what I still didn't have the courage to face. That's why I come now, calmly, honestly, with that sincerity that only shows up when the day's rush finally ends. Today, I caught myself failing in things I thought I had already overcome. Impatience, fear, a tiredness that tries to disguise itself as indifference, and even that old habit of trying to fix everything on my own, knowing full well it never works. But I don't want to end this night pretending. I want to end it whole. So Lord, I lay before you everything that's still pulsing inside me. Scattered thoughts, emotions I didn't sort out, wounds that the day's pace left open. As the light outside fades, I ask you, shine on what's still dark inside me. If any guilt tried to grow today, erase it. If any lie tried to settle in, disperse it. If any inner voice tried to convince me I'm not enough, quiet it. Because your truth doesn't change with the time of day. And now, as the night draws near, I lift to you the names and faces I carried with me. The people who crossed my mind between one task and another. The ones I wanted to help but didn't know how. The ones who hurt me without noticing. The ones I love but struggle to express it to. Take care of each one. Go where I can't. Touch what I can't reach. Restore what my words aren't strong enough to restore. Father, I also give you the silent battles, the ones no one sees, but that drain a part of me every single day. The worry I try to normalize, the anxiety I hide behind productivity, the feeling that the world is asking more of me than I have to give. Take this. Take all of it, because I don't want to fall asleep carrying burdens that were never mine to hold. And now, Lord, as my body rests, I ask you to rest my soul. I don't need to wake up tomorrow with every answer, but I need to wake up with peace, your peace, the kind that steadies, calms, reorganizes, softens, and cleans the heart of what was never meant to stay there. May this night be a quiet restart. May this sleep be like an invisible embrace. May what I lost today be renewed tomorrow. And may what I gained today, even if small, be strengthened by you. And before I close my eyes, I thank you. Because despite everything, I made it here, and I didn't make it alone. In every weakness of mine, there was your support. In every silence of yours, there was hidden care. In every frustration I lived, a lesson was being planted. Nothing was in vain. Nothing was lost. Nothing went unnoticed before your eyes. So let the night come. Let the rest come. Let what I haven't lived yet come. Because I end this day different from how I started. Lighter,
more aware, more surrendered, and with the certainty, not the feeling, but the certainty that you stayed with me the entire day, even in the moments when I thought I was alone. Amen.